police officer comes out in plain clothes. I was friendly with him. He's got fucking a hefty bag, like weighted down with cash in it. A big black hefty bag. This is no joke. Like, I'm like, what do you got? He goes, "Just a bag of cash." I said, "What are you gonna do with that? Voucher it? Put it back. What are you gonna give the city the money, for Christ's sakes? Just put it back." He puts it back. "You're right." He goes, "You're right. You got the arrest. Take the arrest. You know, it's not. This has nothing to do with the arrest. It's property in the house. It's house property. It's not the girls. They didn't fucking. They didn't say, 'Oh, that's our cash, officer.' Oh, we're here to steal that." So you got them. Go. Get the fuck out. So, it's funny how it happened. So he leaves. I look around, and I got the girls like in the other room, the female police officer. I reach in the bag and I go, I'm about to stuff it in one of my pockets, and then the guy sticks his head back in the fucking room. The cop that I just told, "Leave the bag. What are you gonna do? Voucher this?" He sticks his head and he goes, "Yeah, so it really is cash. You're right about that." So I throw the cash. "Yeah, it's no good. Dirty. Throw it back in the bag,
Yeah.
Bad cash. How did it get in my fucking hand, this bad cash?
Yeah, how did that come about?
Yeah, I don't understand. And he goes, yeah. It must have been on his mind too, right? So he leaves, and I go, "Fuck this." I left, and I said, "Okay, now I secured the place." And I said, "I got this place." So I circled the block for like an hour and a half, calling Chicky, getting Brian, and everybody. "You got to get here." Chicky had no car. "No car," he says.
And then explain who Chicky is.
I wanted to kill him.
And then explain who Chicky is.
So Chicky's now. So this is a big diversion.
Yeah. Chicky
was a police officer that worked with us in the same squad. So whatever I said was good. It's all good. Whatever it is, Mikey, is good. But he had recently tried to become a police officer in North Carolina because he wanted to get out of Dodge, okay? Because they were coming, all right? So he went to North Carolina. They turned him down. He's like, "I left the fucking job, and they turned me down." So he comes back to the city and says, "Give me my job back because you got a year to get your job back." I said, "Take us to court. You ain't getting your fucking job back because we got a laundry list of reasons why." So now he's stuck with no job. So he left one police job to get another one. Now he's got no job. So, he's a friend, right? So you look out for him whenever you could. So we got a job in the local bar somewhere. We got him set up there. He had a job there. And then, so then I don't know if I was with Adam yet. I was going to put it on the books with Adam, make him give out $1,000 a week just to keep him around, checking on shit. And so I called him this day and I said, "We got this fucking house. Let's got a bag of money in there. We got to get it." So he goes, "I can't." What do you mean? How could you can't? How could you can't come get a bag of money? I'm watching it.
The car, right?
His car was in the shop. I go, "Your car's in the shop?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, We'll go steal a car. Just get a fucking car, for Christ's sakes. Get over here. I got a bag full of cash for us. Anyway, so he calls another buddy of ours, Brian, who was out on 3/4 that I got him. He's out on 3/4 disability at 24 years old, and he drives this fucking brand new Trans Am that says 3/4 on the license plate. I don't know what that meant. Anyway, so he drives from fucking Brooklyn, drives into Long Island, picks up Chicky. They both come to this, and I'm circling every different way you can circle a house. I'm getting so tired of circling this place, and she hasn't said a fucking thing to me yet. I'm like, this chick, she hasn't said anything. Like,
because she's in the back, right?
She's right. My partner. She's sitting next to me on the other side of the car, and I'm just what I did say to her was, "I'm just going to keep an eye on the building for a while to make sure nobody returns." So I let her know that's sort of, because on patrol you're supposed to do that, especially if you think there's a location that could be. So I did what I was supposed to do. I was keeping an eye on it,
following the rules,
and then of course I didn't follow the rules when the Trans Am pulled up with two white boys one from Brooklyn and one from Long Island that got out with their suit and ties on that they never wore in their life before this day. They walked in like they were detectives with their fake badges on and fucking knocked on someone opened the door for them, like a fucking civilian in the building opened the door, and they said, "Oh yeah, they were in there," and "Oh, okay, thank you very much," and they went in, and about a minute later they're coming out, and I'm circling, they're in the car. I go, whoop, whoop. I pulled them over. I go, "I'll be right back. These are my buddies." She sits in the car. IAD's sitting in the car now. Internal Affairs. The Internal Affairs cop sitting in the car. I said, "I'll be right back. I talk to my buddies." So I go, "How much?" It's a big bag. It's a big bag of cash. I don't know what you can do. All right. So I turn around, and back then, you could use the payphones, right? The police could use the payphones for free. So, of course, I didn't want to pay a quarter for a fucking call.
Yeah.
So I drive the car up on the sidewalk like you've probably seen in your lifetime. The cops drive up on the sidewalk, put the payphone in their ear. And so I called the desk, and one of the lieutenants was cool with me. I says, listen, it's Dowd. He goes, yeah, what's up, Dowd? He goes, family emergency. I need lost time. He goes, okay, no problem. Now it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I tell the girl I'm working with, listen, I'm taking lost time. I got a family emergency. She, like, how do I know? Like, this just happened? You got a family emergency? Like, this is internal affairs here. And, oh, by the way, I got a family emergency. It's not like you had a memo come across the desk or anything. Sure. So I'm going home for a family emergency. Got to go. And I get to the station house, call the old lady, say, listen, what did I tell her? I don't remember. I told her I made an arrest. I told her I made an arrest or something, you know. And then so we went to limousine picks us up in Brooklyn. We head to fucking Atlantic City in a limousine.
How much? What was the take?
It was like $38,000 or something.
And in
like
the
that.
80s, fuck. I mean, that's
hey,
like $100K.
That was my year's salary. That was more than I make in a year.
On one take.
And one, you know.
How addicting is that now?
Oh, it's heaven. I broke some rookie in one day. Back, he was actually a kid from Brentwood, and I knew he was. I knew he was good, but you know, you have to test him. You know.
Yeah.
So I just go in there and get some cold to drink and some cold ones, and cigarettes and gum and whatever else I ordered, chips and whatever it was. So he comes out with 2 Cokes and a fucking bag of chips.
And you're like, what the fuck?
I say, excuse me. He goes, well, I go, what are you doing? He goes, well, I don't know. I mean, I got some Cokes. You know, I go, Cokes. I said, how old are you? He goes, 20. He was older than me. He goes, 24. I go, you're 24. I go, what does cold ones mean to you? He goes, well, 6-pack of blood. I'm rookie and I'm brand new. I go get some cold ones. He goes, am I allowed? I said, are you allowed? How old are you? He goes, 24. I go, you're allowed, okay? Walks back in, comes out with the thing. I go, how much do I owe? He goes, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't take any money from me. I said, now you know how it works, okay? Police officers are really just doing their job, okay? And the way I see it, and it happened to me in my career, is people immediately assume that you're pulling them over for a reason that they think, not what is actually the truth. You know, what they call it today is my truth, right? So someone gets pulled over, they think because either they're Hispanic, black, Asian, and a white police officer pulls. In fact, many times it's even a black police officer pulls them over, and the claim is you pulled me over because I'm black or Asian or Hispanic, and I assure you that unless it's like one of those scenarios where the cop turns around because he saw something suspicious in the vehicle, like a white guy and a black guy, and the guy ducked down. like those are the reasons people get pulled over, but you don't see that, you know? That doesn't make the highlight film, you know? The guy ducked down. The police officer generally might find some suspicion in that. So that person may get pulled over. Their answer is going to be, you pulled us over because I was a black guy and a white guy in a car, but that's not normally the case. There's usually a reason other than that, right? Or you're... you know, the marijuana, you know, cigarette fell out the window, but you didn't tell your parents that when you got pulled over. I mean, I know I wouldn't have.
Yeah, right.
So in other words, the perspective of the police today is that because everything is videoed, right? Let's assume everything's videoed, right? Is that there's always an underlying prejudice for the confrontation. But from my experience, and I assume it's still today, people call 911. Like, why are you knocking on my door, police officer? Well, there's 400,000 doors between the station house and here and my trip home, and I didn't pick your door because I found it interesting. Someone called 911. So, like, people have to understand that today's confrontations with police that we all see, and first of all, it's never going to be pretty. Right. Especially if someone doesn't want to get arrested, right? It's just never going to end in the direction that took me into corruption. But when I first became a police officer, I was proud of it. I actually didn't take the police job to go out there and rob drug dealers and snort and sell cocaine. That wasn't my goal in life, you know? So today when I speak to young guys that are interested in a police career, I try to tell them it's not going to be easy. It can be very rewarding, but I caution you to know that the game's changed, and you can. So this is what I always say to people: you're one step from being arrested as a police officer every day. If you can live with that, good luck. But because that's real, because like every interaction we have with the public as a police officer, I say they potentially can go wrong, and potentially can end up today with you being arrested. Whereas in the past, it may have been a different approach. It would have been like, okay, the police and the individual had a conflict, and clearly the police officer's making a lawful arrest for whatever the situation was, and the person may have a black eye or a bruised rib or something because it took force to secure the individual. But today, even then, it didn't look pretty, right? But back in the 80s, when I was doing it, it didn't look pretty. I mean, I had people say, what are you beating this guy up for? Well, he just raped a 14-year-old girl in the schoolyard, and I'm trying to cuff him. I'm not here to beat him up. I'm trying to handcuff him, and he's resisting. So in a situation like that, it's never going to look good. So today, you'll end up arrested. Defund the police. Go ahead. Defund the police, then call them. How about that? How about you don't get to call the police if you voted to defund the police? And fuck you. Maybe 2 at this time. And I'm still a lily white boy from Long Island, right? You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up in a tough, rugged neighborhood in Brentwood, which it was a little bit. I had a tough family. I was an athlete, so I was involved in sports. I had plenty of contact. I had my fights here and there. Well, I won most of them, but hey, I was young. You know, I wasn't fighting men yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm in the car and I'm driving down Sutter Avenue, and now, if anybody in Brooklyn knows Sutter Avenue, they'll know what I'm saying. And if you're not in Brooklyn, but you've been on Sutter Avenue in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, you'll know what I'm saying, even the 2000s. And on the right-hand side of the road, I'm driving in, and the fucking sun's coming up from behind. So I'm looking in the mirror, and In the Ghetto comes on by Elvis. You can't make this story up. You can't. And I'm listening to, and a young man dies in the ghetto. And you know, and the mama cries and pulls a gun, and a shotgun blast kills this kid in the ghetto, and the fucking tears are rolling out of my eyes, and I'm saying, what am I doing here? I'm now on the job about a year and a half at this point. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And on the right-hand side of the road, Eugene's, which I didn't know, but Eugene's Bodega, I would come to know. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're fucking throwing dice up against the wall. And I'm saying, these motherfuckers are still out here. It's 6
they didn't go to bed.
It's 6 a.m. They're playing dice. I mean, the sun's coming up, and they're playing dice. I said, oh, my God. And, you know, everybody knows before they get somewhere the reputation of a precinct and whatnot. So I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to do some real fucking police work. Now, I just left fucking Corona, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, Queens, which is the number one cocaine distribution point in America at that time. They called it Little Columbia. All the airports were dropping the fucking loads off. And, you know, there was a lot of activity there. Don't get me wrong, plenty of it. But, you know, you're not watching people shuffle kilos around. They don't say, hi, officer, I got to. Although there's a story I never really shared. I should fucking share.
Tell me the story.
Almost got me killed. But anyway, so.
I'll remind it.
Yeah, so In the Ghetto's playing, and I'm driving down Sutter Avenue, and I'm headed towards the fucking precinct, which I've never been to, and I got to get a locker and set myself up. And I'm like, I should have stayed in fucking college. My mother was right. My mother was right. I should have stayed in college. Son of a bitch. And I'm like, damn. And that's not the first time I had that epiphany, but now it really was like, this is real. And I'll say in about 2 weeks, that was all over. It was like, this is fucking great. It was fucking great. Bodies, blood, fucking knives, guns. I mean, it was insane.
Action.
It was fucking insane. It was great. I loved it. It became rolled up tins, which were very firm tin foils back then. It wasn't like Reynolds wrap. It was like these rolled up tins of 50s, right? And one day, it turned into crack. One day.
It's just like out of the blue.
Boom.
Really?
And we didn't know what it was. We were throwing it out.
What do you think it was?
We didn't know. Well, we knew it was something, but we didn't know what it was. We had charged somebody, but you don't know what it is.
Wow.
I didn't know what it was. I mean, say, okay, let me arrest you for possession of what? I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like soap in a jar. But it's a tiny jar, right? And they're saying drug sales on the corner. Oh, okay. Well, I don't see anything here that looks illegal, and I don't have a crack pipe to smoke this thing up in to find out if it's what it is. I don't know what it is, and no one even knew that's what they did. I didn't know. They didn't give me a lesson. Dowd, come on in today. If you see this on the street, that's what this is. It's a new drug, or it's a new version of the same old drug. So yeah. So in the beginning, we were just like, "What the fuck is this?" And they were getting away with it because we didn't know what it was. And then one day my partner brought it home with him and came back with $500 and said it was worth a lot of money. It's cocaine. I said, we've been throwing that shit down the fucking sewer. No wonder why that guy took the sewer plate off to get it back. The change in the career comes fairly quickly, but it was a process. So I end up with a partner, and we end up doing a car stop, and cops pulled us over in the middle of the car stop. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They wanted to know what we were doing in their sector and to stay away from it. And do you understand? This is our sector. Stay out. I'm like, well, it's the fucking ghetto, dude. There's nothing here. There's so there's the Riviera nightclub over here that no one goes to anymore. So okay, and what else you got? A street. And he made it clear, stay away from our restaurants. Okay, there's 3 restaurants, and everybody's got to go to them if they're going to eat, And so I like the genius in me said, there's a reason for this. It's not just because he doesn't own the place. He's getting something from this. What? So that began to plant the seed, and eventually I ended up taking a couple $100 from a kid with we call it the Puerto Rican mystery in the movie, which is a catch line, and I love my Puerto Ricans. They're my fucking I love them to death, and I don't mean to be, but that's what it was associated back then. Oh, I got a Puerto Rican mystery. So no license, no registration, no insurance card, but a nice guy. And his father's bodega is really down the block, and everything's cool. So and we got along fine. But I can give this guy $2,000 worth of tickets, or get a couple hunch. I gave it a shot. He gave me a couple hunch, and that was sort of the beginning of laying the seed of, I can actually get paid out here. And then in the beginning, it would be a couple of hit and miss on like roll up on a call. Guy leaves the scene, leaves his drugs and his money. Man, I don't know who was fucking. He's not leaving his address with the money and with the fucking coke, or whatever. So, all right. So, the first one you might have vouchered. The second one went, what? This is mine. Okay?
Fuck it, right?
This is mine. Hello. And I wasn't into the drug stuff, but the cash was definitely coming my way. And then at some point I realized, I'm throwing away these drugs. I know a few people that like to party, and maybe it's a friend or a neighbor or a family member, and all of a sudden it turned into a little bit of cash cow. It's like the ATM machine.
Yeah.
Okay, this corner has another ATM machine. It's just Hermano and Jose and fucking, Tyrone, whatever the fuck their names were. Like they lobster.
Ali whatever. Yeah, Ali whatever.
That's part of my fucking...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what's his name? Stole it too,
Who?
Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me that
I'm
story.
pissed.
Tell me the story.
I'm pissed. He's a good guy, Mark. Don't get me wrong. But they're all Hollywood. So Mark Wahlberg was actually dubbed. No, that's a lie. Mark Wahlberg called up the producers of the 7-5 documentary and said he wants the role of Michael Dowd.
Really?
It's 100% the truth. In 2015.
That's awesome. He's a great
2015. Actor. Now, that's how long ago? I'm still waiting for the fucking movie. How long ago is 2015? 6 years ago.
6.5.
He did a movie last year where he played a cop that went to jail.
Oh, I watched that, yeah.
And in the fucking movie, he says to his girlfriend, what do you want? She goes, I want that lobster lunch. And he says, you want the lobster lunch? And she says, yeah, I want a lobster lunch.
Sounds familiar, Mike.
I wanted to fucking kill him.
Did you want to go through the TV?
I'm like, that's my fucking line, motherfucker. The next block over, which would be Dumont to something, on Dumont Avenue, right around the block from the store. I see the unmarked Jeep guys with the fucking beards and the fucking hair, do-rags on their heads and shit. And I go, hey, what's up, boys? How you doing? Yeah, and what are you guys up to? We got a store around the corner we're fucking getting ready to hit tonight. Oh, really? Yeah, we've been staking them out for about a month. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Now, there's 3 stores around the corner selling cocaine.
Right.
Okay? So I don't know who it is. But I might as well say it's you. Because if I'm wrong, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm right. If I'm right, I'm right. So let's just say they're going to hit you tonight, bro. You got to shut down. So I didn't know what to do. I hit the 911 beeper. They didn't answer. And I have no patience. Okay? I'm telling you, you got to shut the fucking store down. And there's no answer in like a minute. That's like too long, right? Because it could happen any second. So I can't. So I go, I got to go in. So Kenny's in the car, sitting there like a douche. I go in the fucking bodega. I pick up 2 Heinekens. I walk to the counter. He opens the Heinekens for me. I go, shut it down. Shut it down. I go, shut it down. I don't even know this guy. He doesn't know me. But I told him to shut it down. I drive by about a half an hour later. They got about 45 police vehicles, helicopters, fucking lights set, like a whole light system set up outside, dogs, gerbils, whatever the fuck. They got all kinds of shit going on. And gerbils, in case they got an anal fucking search. I don't know. And so they come out with nothing. No arrests, nothing. They've been setting this place up. They've been buying out of there. Every fucking day for the last month, they're buying kilos of cocaine. It's time to hit the place. They get nothing.
And there's 47 guys.
There's 40 men outside with the jackets on. DEA, CIA, DO2, whatever.
TV stations have been called already.
They're all waiting for this big bust in Brooklyn. Nothing.
Choppers.
Lights on the roof. They got every fucking thing.
What do you think? What do you think your little setup cost the department?
Oh God, I don't know. I saved Diaz $1 million. So yeah, it wasn't. It's a funny story. So after that happened, and years later when I got arrested, so that made me king. Right. Fucking Diaz store gets hit. Nothing. They don't even have salt or sugar in the bodega. That's all they sell is salt and sugar. Nothing.
So now they're like, this Mike is
he's
our
worth
guy.
his weight in gold.
Yeah, he's our guy.
Yeah, I'll take any strange. So anyway, I tell you, we don't want to wait this time. So I get some of that fucking pussy. Maybe I'll fuck you. I'm gonna try. I'm trying. And they had it all set up. They had the camera zoomed in on her underwear. She had no underwear on. Her fucking snatch was on the fucking camera. So they call me and they go, how's this sound? This is the fucking guy who I told, the Mexican, later on. The Mexican guy, I said, let's box, motherfucker. So I said to him, he goes, how does this sound out? Every CO in this fucking prison has seen your girl's snatch and you haven't. He was such a nasty fuck. I go, but what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. What am I going to do?
Yeah, your hands are tied.
Yeah, I go, well, how was it? How was it? Because you're right, I ain't seen it yet.
I would have said, can I see the film?
Can I get a fucking look? Yeah. They were teasing me with it. We got the film, I'm like, they we bet you want to see it. I go, what's the fucking ass I know? Anyway, so that was the fucking gig. So.
Meanwhile, you're on the phone having sex calls.
Oh, with the girl, with the crazy girl.
Yeah, tell me. And the guards are listening.
Tell you, the guards are lined up. Dowd, what time tonight? I go 7:40, right after fucking some show I'm watching. 7:40, I'm going to be on the phone for about a half an hour. My phone bill was $800 a month, and I don't make that kind of money. The girl would send me $800 large for the phone and $3,800 that she would send me that we made on the side money. She was running an escort service.
And you're having phone sex on the jail phone, and the guards are listening, waiting for the call.
Waiting for the call, yeah. She's got the candles burning her fucking vagina. She sent me the books. She sent me the books. This is what I want. Master. So I read the master books. I learned how to be a master.
Well, at least you learned that.
I learned how to master bait. No, I learned how to master the bait.
Master the bait.
Master the baiters. I walk into the precinct and the guy behind the desk, the sergeant behind the desk he's like this, go see the captain. It was like they told him what he had to say. It was like a setup. I didn't know until clearly I turned around and instead of the captain office, out from there, the 2 guys that were sitting out in the car out front when I pulled up, they were walking up the stairs with their badges out, like a bust, Internal Affairs, we need to take you for department-ordered drug tests. Oh, okay, whatever. I'm going to lose the job. Great, just like I thought.
Just like I
thought.
Back,
it's
right?
going to go, whatever.
Okay,
I'll make $1 million a year selling fucking yayo. It's all good. Thank you.
Already got the connection.
I'm all set. My life is set up. Yeah. I'll be in the DR. I'll be in fucking Puerto Plata every weekend. Anyway. So that, they end up taking me downstairs and they put me in a car. It's a funny story. I'm in the car. I got this cocaine now. I can't get rid of it. But I didn't want to leave it in my locker. Because first of all, I had to take it out of my pants pocket. And they were so close to me that I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't bend my knee without hitting one of them. I'm like, dude, am I under arrest? He's like, no. I goes, could you give me some fucking room to get dressed then? I got a gun. I got to shoot you motherfucker. Get away from me. And anyway, so, shit, I got like 5 grams of coke in this pocket. What am I going to do? So I'll get rid of it. I'm slick. I'll get rid of it. And I couldn't fucking find a scatillion. What is Obama? Not a scatillion of fucking evidence. Not a smidgen. I couldn't find a fucking moment to where I can go like this. I mean, there's a garbage pail, there's a floor. I couldn't go like that without someone seeing my hand. So I get in the patrol car, the back, and I smoked at the time Marlboro Light. So I go, gentlemen, I don't see any fucking handles on the doors and no fucking window opener here. I said, but I need to smoke a cigarette. They go, all right, well, go ahead. I said, well, how about, a little window action here? They go, no, go ahead.
You're like Lefty from Donnie Brasco. Yeah. I'm catching a draft.
I'm fucking smoking, double smoking. You can't see inside this fucking car now. All right, well, too bad, I'm trying to get open the fucking window so I can out off the bag. They fucking must have been on me. Anyway, so I go, I'll get rid of it when I get out of the car. They'll open the car door. I'll just drop it and fuck them.
Right.
They opened the car door. It was like, there's no way I can do it. Like this, looking right at me like this. Fuck. All right, you know what? I got a long walk to the fucking to the entrance to Left Rack City. I turn around the car. There's someone here, here, and here. So I'm fully flanked. And I look up, and there's like 40 police officers with their fucking all the gold badge guys standing like a phalanx in the fucking on the walkway. So I'm walking past a fucking whole army of cops. And then I make a right. I'm going, okay, I'll get inside the fucking building. I'll dump it in there. The elevator opens up, and these guys with scrambled eggs on there. Now, scrambled eggs is big. These guys are wearing scrambled eggs on their helmets. They're on there. I see birds and stars on their shoulders. I go, this is pretty serious. This is no fucking regular drug test, do you think?
Yeah.
This is a department-ordered drug test? Holy fuck.
I didn't get the memo.
Wow. I didn't know it was this secure. I get upstairs, and there's the lieutenant. His name was like, I don't know, Hoffenberg. I don't fucking know his name. He's after me for fucking the longest time. I hated him. He was standing there looking at me. He goes, pee in this cup, Dowd. I go, no problem. This is going to burn right the fuck up. This is going to burn that fucking needle right the fuck up. I don't care. I just did a blast. Yeah. It's going to be okay. So I lose my job. Yeah, have some. It's fucking still pure. It's got Absolute in with the fucking cocaine if you want to taste it. I hand them back. It is what it is, All right, whatever, thank you. All of a sudden, some short little Italian guy comes in with the curly fucking Italian hair with the big nose. Comes walking over. The officer, Dowd, yeah, you're under arrest. Yeah? Oh, really? For what? Conspiracy to distribute narcotics on Suffolk County. Okay.
Again, you're thinking, just lose my job.
Yeah. Okay. Put my hands up. I'm under arrest. All right. I'm not in uniform. I'm in civilian clothes. And they searched me. They searched me, and that fucking 5 gram bag of cocaine gets pulled out of my pocket. And I look at the cop who pulled that. It was a city cop. I go, what'd you fucking put that in my pocket for? What are you doing, trying to set me up?
Hey, that's good thinking on the spot.
What are you trying to set me up? You put a fucking bag of coke with 5.5 grams in. What are you doing? Anyway, so it didn't go down too well. But that was my fucking take on it. It was my truth. I'm speaking to my truth. You put that cocaine in my pocket.